Hello guys, I'm back. This is another day of Moxie Daily, Web3 Daily Moxie Edition. And today I'm going to talk about something super important which is coming up, which is basically, formation of Moxie DAO, the delegation of your voting power, and obviously it's all related to the Moxie Grant round number 1, which has the submissions which end on September 30th. So, you don't have to rush. You can submit on September 30th. Hopefully the tech will handle the influx of submissions. And let me show you why I think it's important, because we are basically going to go through several things. So Moxie DAO is super simple concept, right? Every Moxie token holder, including fan token holders, which basically fan tokens are like a locked Moxie in a protocol, is basically a member of a Moxie DAO, you could say. But it's not that all 90,000 people who own Moxie DAO will go and vote. There will be a governance process which will include delegation. So you can choose potentially someone to delegate the power to. I will want to be one of the delegates, so you can delegate your voting power to me, and I'll vote on your behalf. There is a process which I will show you how it's going to work, but let's take it step by step. So Moxie DAO, great thing. It's basically community governed protocol. The first action of a Moxie DAO most likely will be Moxie Retro Grant number 1, which is what everybody's looking forward to, right? I will just rehash the dates, even though you will probably hear them tomorrow on a community call with Airstack, where I'll be speaking as well. So, come and join. Application deadline, you don't have to rush. There is going to be nominations for experts via Farcaster frames. This was the expected date. I don't think it's up, but we will hear about it, I'm sure, on the Thursday community call with Airstack, and I will let you know. But I'll talk about the expert council. The fact is, the Airstack team is not the one who is going to do the voting and selecting people for grants. It's going to be the Moxie Expert Council. And all of us will have a chance to basically nominate people we trust or think are qualified to be part of the Expert Council. I assume there's going to be some limit to people in the Moxie Expert Council. Whoever gets the most votes will become an expert, and then, we'll have to spend time reviewing proposals from that bucket where they have expertise. So, I could probably be expert on growth or community, could hardly be expert on coding and apps. And it makes a lot of sense. Each one of us has some sort of expertise and should have some sort of let's say, identity and reputation tied to that expertise, rather than, that we would believe everybody has right to talk into everything. These are the application categories, and education awareness and others. And qualifying criteria is basically any achievement. So, if you've done anything for Moxie, from writing, art to coding or frames, videos like this, or, other things, just apply. You will see. There is a lot of Moxie to be distributed, and I think the whole idea is to actually distribute the retro grants as wide as possible. So sure, there will be some people who will get a lot of allocation from the grant because their impact was great, but there will be a lot of people who will get at least something. And I would hope that, almost everybody who did something meaningful will get at least something. You should know that there is a KYC requirement for you to receive the grant. But let's look at the Moxie Expert Council. Is it here? They will be nominated and chosen on Farcaster. Expert will be selected by the peers for each of the 4 categories. So you will likely apply as an expert into one of the categories, and then, people will kind of give you a vote. That's my assumption. We'll hear about it, I'm sure. And then, if you want to be considered expert, Moxie Expert Council, just cast your interest and take beta show. Moxie delegates. delegation is coming later. So the Moxie Expert Council is going to be paid, I assume, again in Moxie, because you will have to spend time going through the proposals and, sort of voting. The idea is there is more people than one, so ideally 2 or 3 people will be voting on one proposal. That's how, between 3 and 5 is what's typically done if you have something like public funding, because you want to smooth out the individual opinions. It's totally fine that people have different opinions, and there is no fixed metrics for how to evaluate, how to vote on things. So it makes total sense, right? Let me just quickly talk about Moxie delegates, which again is, as I said, you will be able to delegate the voting power. It will be done through Snapshot, and it's not currently active. So I will definitely want to hear today or tomorrow in the community call from Moxie team what's happening, because the delegate is very closely tied to the expert voting and then the DAO distribution thing, DAO Retrogrant distribution. So this should all be pretty much fun, I hope. So Moxie Retrogrants, don't forget, September 30th is the deadline. Everything else is sort of fluid. So, this is most likely coming this week or next week, the latest. And then, the Expert Council review and the DAO voting delegation process. So we will see. It's a little bit packed schedule, but let's hope all is going to work just fine. And it will add some fun to the Moxie experience. That's about it, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about some interesting frames I came across and one wonderful ultimate Q&A from Fibo. See you tomorrow.